Oftentimes during a cybersecurity engagement, starting from the top and working our way down, a lot of components will get mixed into the source code that get generated in the SBOM during the first cut. This is just oftentimes part of the process, and often a lot of stuff that won't be in the final product gets included. So there are a couple of areas that we want to look at. If there are any build scripts, development tools that are purely for internal use that won't be included in the final product, those may require a little bit of an evaluation. Now, if those vulnerable components introduce a vulnerability into the final product as a result of the build process, that was something that we would need to account for and remediate. But more often than not, there may be a distant transit dependency with a vulnerability in a component that is purely used for a build script, and that isn't necessarily going to need to be included in here. Now, what's going into the SBOM itself as far as the components? This is an area of a little bit of contention. Sometimes you'll hear a discussion, what about SOUP? Now, SOUP, the software of unknown pedigree, is difficult to track. Oftentimes that's any part of the tech stack that you can't include in the source code. So the source code specifically, any of the pulled in third-party components are what goes into the SBOM as a whole. Now, looking at the SOUP becomes a little bit of a different story. That requires a separate vulnerability assessment, and it's equally important, but it won't be tied into the same assessment as the SBOM. So in general, the SOUP is a little bit more difficult to pull together, especially since SBOM tracking tools such as FOSSA are a great way to clearly map out what's in the SBOM. But yeah, having that distinction, drawing the line, what's in the final device and what's not, is really important.